Hello everyone, how are you? So now it's turn to welcome you to 8th standard, and today is our first lecture for 8th chemistry, and we are going to start with the lesson matter around us. Now what actually matter is? Anything which occupies space or volume, has mass and can be perceived by our sense is called matter. Now let's take some example to understand matter more deeply. Now let's take air. Is air a matter? Yes, definitely air is a matter, because when air is blowing we can feel the air. When you take an inflated balloon and fill air in the balloon expands. That means air occupies some volume. Now if you take the weight of an inflated balloon, that is balloon without air, and take the weight of balloon which is filled with air, their masses would be different. That means air has certain mass. So while classifying a substance into matter, we should understand that we should take three basic characteristics, that is occupy space or volume, has mass and can be felt by us. The word perceived here means felt. According to the scientist, matter is broadly classified into 5 categories. Again I am stressing it, into 5 categories. In your 8th standard we have 3 categories out of them, that is solid, liquid and gases. The remaining 2 categories I will be teaching you in 9th or 10th standard. The 4th property would be plasma, and the 5th state will be Bose-Einstein condensate. But in 8th standard we are going to completely focus on solid, liquid and gases, and we are going to understand their physical properties such as mass, volume, shape, rigidity, density, arrangement of particles. Before moving ahead, there is an important theory which is called as kinetic theory of matter. Now kinetic theory of matter has 3 important points. The kinetic theory of matter states that all matter is composed of particles, and these particles have intermolecular space between them, which means the space between 2 particles is called as intermolecular space. When we will be learning solid, liquid and gases, we will use this term more frequent. So please remember at that point of time that particles of matter have intermolecular space between them, that is space between 2 molecules, and the distance between 2 molecules is called as intermolecular distance. Attract with each other at a force. This force is called as intermolecular force of attraction or repulsion. The neighboring molecules of an atom will either attract or repel each other, are in continuous random motion. Now if there is a lot of space between 2 molecules, the molecules will move from its position to a different position. If there is no space, the molecule will try to vibrate at its mean position. So on the basis of these 3 criteria, we are going to divide matter into 3 basic categories, that is solid, liquid and gases. Now all 3, solid, liquid and gas, all have a definite mass. What is a definite mass? Like if I take 100 gram of water, let's start with ice. If I take 100 gram of ice, now ice is solid, we all can know. If I melt that ice by heating it, it will get converted to water, and if I weigh that water will be equal to 100 grams. Now if I keep on heating the water for a longer time, the water will get converted to water vapor. If I can collect this water vapor in a container and weigh it, I can see that the amount of water vapor collected in that container is equal to 100 gram. That means ice, which was solid, had 100 gram, water, which is liquid, again 100 gram, gas, water vapor, which was gas, is again 100 gram. That means all 3 states of matter, solid, liquid and gases, have a definite mass. Now what about their volume, shape and rigidity? Now what do I mean rigidity? The substance which does not change its shape when external force is applied on it is called as rigidity. If you try to apply force on a wooden block, will the shape of wooden block change? No. So solids have a definite shape. They maintain their shape even when they are subjected to an external force, that is they are rigid. Now some of you may have a doubt, like cotton is also solid, but why can cotton be compressed? The reason is, in cotton or sponges, if you have seen the sponges, In cotton sponge, there is a lot of space there in between the particles, and in those spaces air is filled. So when you are compressing cotton, actually you are not compressing cotton, you are removing that space between the particles. Similarly, if you stretch a rubber band, its shape may change, but once you remove that force by which you are stretching it, rubber will again come back to its original shape.